Well, didn't I tell you that the climate change is they're going to use it as a religion, and that they're going to use it to try to gain power, governmental power over everyone in the world. Here in America, of course, the Pope, I told y'all about the Pope summoning world leaders and all influential people from around the world, the people that his father, Satan, gave power and money and influence to. Because these people have taken the money from Satan. They've taken his Happy Meal and his food and his money. And now Satan is calling all of them to be with the Pope and to learn their new marching orders, because Donald Trump messed up everything when he became president. That messed up everything. And now they got to come and learn a new approach. And this new approach is climate change. And they're worshiping climate change. I'm saying all this to say that this girl, Greta Thunberg, she's the new little 16-year-old girl that they rolled out to preach about climate change and how her world is ending and how the world is over and the children don't have a future and all this different stuff. And you can obviously tell, watch the video on that little girl. She has probably been hypnotized by those people, and the parents have been paid to lend that little girl over to the work of Satan, right? I think her mom even said that the girl has a mental problem. And one of the guys on Fox News, he was talking about the little girl, and he says they put a little girl with mental illness out here, and so Fox now don't want him back on the show for telling the truth. The girl has a mental illness, and not only that, she is filled with demons. Anytime people delve into hypnosis, hypnosis is a work of Satan. It is to hypnotize or spellbound a person long enough for them to speak an influential demon into your mind. And that influential demon now has control of your mind, or is planting thoughts in your mind, and you will become what it wants you to be. So I believe that that little girl was hypnotized by the powers that be, or by the elite, to get out here and be influential and a lying spirit before the world, and to try to gain sympathy for the world for this climate change stuff that they're trying to push. Now, Donald Trump tweeted out about the girl because people was asking him about her, and man, he's such a troller. Donald Trump is a genius. For real. Donald Trump is awesome. Well, he tweeted about the girl. He says, because the little girl looks so mean and so unhappy, you know, not like a normal kid. She's not a happy 16-year-old. They're using her to look mean and be unhappy because she's filled with these demons and she's filled with so much hate right now. Yeah, well, anyway, he said, she seems like a fun, happy little girl who has a bright future ahead of her. Now, when he said that she looks like a happy little girl, he said that because she don't look happy. She looks mean. She doesn't look like a normal kid, like any other kid would look, you know? But he also said something that came from her Twitter account. Underneath where it says a brief description of who she was, the little Greta girl, it says, "I'm looking forward to a bright and hopeful and happy future." Now, that's a slap in her face. You know why? Because she's up there telling everybody, this is what she said. Let me see, I need some light. She said, I don't like that light. She said, people are suffering. People are dying. The ecosystem around the world is collapsing. We are in the beginning stages of a mass we're in the beginning of stages of massive death. This is what she's telling everybody. The world is ending, and we're in the beginning stages of mass confusion, and the ecosystem is in trouble, and we're dying, and we don't have a future. And President Donald Trump trolled her by saying, he looked on her Twitter account and saw that she said, "I'm looking forward to a happy and bright future." And now here, all of a sudden, months later, you're saying that the ecosystem is dying and everything it's collapsing. If people are willing to do this to the little kids, whoever got her to do this need to be arrested for child abuse. Because you're taking these kids and you're messing their minds up with this global change, and you know you're telling a lie. You know you're forcing this girl to tell a lie about she don't feel like she have a future, when she wrote on her Twitter account that she's looking forward to a bright and happy future. Whenever people do stuff like this, They'll do anything, and I mean anything, to gain power. You cannot trust the Democrats. You remember when they was that school shooting over there in Georgia, I think it was, when all of a sudden now they started marching these little kids out here, and they had a boy and a girl always on TV preaching to us about gun control. Gun control. And one of the biggest things about what these Democrats are always talking about, control. Control. We're going to control the guns. We're going to control the weather. Climate control. Right? When they can't control nothing. If you want to control guns, show us how you can get guns out of the hands of criminals in Chicago. Right? Show us how you can get guns out of the hands of criminals in Chicago, or the criminals in Baltimore, or the criminals in New York, the criminals in LA. Show us, go get their guns. All right? Make sure criminals don't get guns, and then I guarantee you won't see this. And then start making sure that the mentally ill don't get their hands on guns, and we won't see any more of this. I promise you that. But they want to take away everything. They want to control. That's their big thing. Control. Listen for that word. Climate control. Gun control. And everything is going to be controlled by these people. Right? All right. So, yeah. There was a video of President Donald Trump, because this little girl, when she did this little speech, she was at the UN Council. She did the speech at the UN, United Nations. And all of these nations, national and world leaders, are down with this climate hoax because they're doing their marching orders from the Pope, right? They're going to do what the Pope say do. So they're all on board, and President Donald Trump is the only world leader who is fighting against this big lie of climate control. And people say, ain't no difference between the Republican and Democrat Party. Ain't no difference. There is a difference. Donald Trump is the difference. And that's why the Republicans and the Democrats and the world leaders are fighting against this man. Because he is not trying to sell the world over to this demon that wants control and wants to bring everything to a one world order. And this is why they're upset with him. This is why those Hollywood actors get on there and they calling him a punk and a this and a that, and shooting all types of bad words. And they got Snoop Dogg shooting guns at him. And this is why they have all of this stuff, because they're angry. Because their one world plan has been shot because of Donald Trump. And if it was Hillary, if she got in there, it'll be a totally different story. We'd be in climate control hell. And they're using climate control to take away everything. We're going to use climate control to take away guns. We're going to use climate control to take away your First Amendment speech. We're going to use climate control to make sure that no man has any masculinity. We're going to use climate control to make sure that there's no cows to fart. We're going to use climate control to make sure that you don't eat any beef or any meat. We're going to use climate control to send these companies and get rid of all the jobs, and America would be without anything. That's their ultimate plan. Right? That's their ultimate plan. So yes, thank God for Donald Trump. Thank God for Donald Trump. If you have not listened to these Democrats talk, and you don't know what's coming down the pike, and you still voting for these people, you have no idea what spirit you are of. Jesus said that to his disciples when they told Jesus to send down fire from heaven on these people. And Jesus looked at them and said, you don't know what spirit you're of. And I say the same thing for all those Christians out there who are voting for the Democrats. You have no idea what spirit you're of. You don't know what you're agreeing with, because your leaders haven't given you any information. Well, this is Pastor Jerone. Y'all stay blessed. I'll see you on the next video.